Daily uploads, he said. Who does bro think he is? Anyways, today I feel like playing some Dehya because I can't stand these Ermite enemies. And we fight fire with fire. So we fight the Ermites with our Ermite, main DPS. Or rather, on-fielder. I don't even know if she's doing the most damage in this team. I know that most people would just proceed to glaze over Shangling and say that she is, but I genuinely have my doubts that she is. I genuinely have them. But anyways. I usually don't like to share my controversial opinions, because sometimes it's like you explore like these thoughts of yours, right? But people are just not willing to listen, right? And I think that's the case when it comes to Dehya. I think Dehya is not a good character. Like, I would never describe Dehya as like a good character, but she's definitely like a comfortable one, and she's definitely like viable for your spiral base clears, in my opinion. Like, this team isn't too hard to make. Like, you just need Kazuha. All the others are like starter units, and Dehya is a standard banner character, so you get her by losing your 50-50. And I find her to be like very comfortable, because as you can see, like, these Ermites guys are usually so obnoxious, like so fucking obnoxious, it's actually unreal, right? And they keep interrupting me, but like, with Dehya that isn't the case. It's kind of like a comfortable unit, and she's like pretty bad damage-wise. But the fact that she's like this kind of hybrid makes it just comfortable. That's what she is. And I don't know. I feel like I could talk for days when it comes to like the way Dehya is like overlooked, and how her value is just like completely undermined by the community. I don't know if it's still the case, because I do notice that sometimes I think some things are not seen by the community, and then they start being noticed. Probably because like some content creator goes out there and like, you know, because I imagine like a lot of content creators talk about certain things, and when something starts to become like a, you know, like, I don't know, I remember that back in the days, like, people used to overrate Shangling so fucking much. I mean, Shangling is good, don't get me wrong, but like, she's not like this kind of unit that you just put everywhere and she works. Like, that's not the case. She's heavily carried by Bennett, because otherwise she wouldn't have enough energy to do half of the things she does. Anyways, I think I gotta lock in a little more, because the clear time for the second half is being complete ass. So let me do something properly for once. I do this. Okay. And this guy should die relatively quickly, right? Please. Okay, very nice. What I want to get at with Dehya is that she's a character that gives you hyper armor, right? What I call hyper armor is basically infinite resistance to interruption. So like, for example, if I do this, right, I press my skill, I switch to my next character, and like, no matter how many times they attack me, no matter how much they do it, they cannot interrupt me. They don't like launch me in the air, right? When you get interrupted, like, that shit fucking sucks, and it does ruin your clears. And like, I am tired of people pretending that this shit doesn't happen to everyone. When you play the game, you get interrupted, right? So can we just start valuing resistance to interruption, please? Because it's just so comfortable to have it. Like, when you play with shields, you cannot get interrupted, and you do feel a massive difference. Like, for example, Lali, Zhongli, and you know, whatever units that people are like prone to use for their shields. You know? It's like, you can definitely feel the difference. But since it's not popular to say, oh, I like the resistance to interruption, then nobody cares. But I think it's valuable. That's it. I think most of my Dehya thoughts can be condensed into that. Because there's no main DPS in the game that gives you hyper armor, I think. Oh my fucking... Like, if I wasn't too busy, like, yapping to you guys while I play, you'd be able to see that I get interrupted very little with this team. I get to do kind of like whatever the fuck I want, right? And that's kind of cool, in my opinion. No Bennett circle, but whatever. It had to be done now because I didn't have the energy earlier. Now I will have the energy. Like, if I do this, I'm getting some of the damage mitigated by Dehya, which makes me, you know, able to survive a bit longer certain scenarios, right? And I don't get interrupted, so my rotations feel a lot smoother as a result. For anyone watching, though, who's thinking that I make Dehya look a little less mid than how people usually describe her, I just want to preface that my Dehya is currently C3. But to be fair, I've been using Dehya, like, even when she was C0. And I've had her C0 for so long. Like, I've cleared every Spiral Abyss since she came out with Dehya. But in 4.4, I got, how do you call it? I got her C1 in 4.4. I remember because it was on the Xianyun banner. So, ever since 3.5 to 4.4, I've been clearing with Dehya. And I found her to be quite nice. I always found her to be really nice. I really cannot, like, talk and play at the same time. Like, how do people develop this skill? Like, I'm trying my best, but I feel like I keep repeating myself and I keep going nowhere with what I say. Maybe one day I should make an entire video about why I like Dehya to play, not just as a character, because right now I'm talking mostly about the gameplay of Dehya. I'm not talking about her character. Like, I like her character, and again, I think she's popular. So, oh nice, I dodge everything because I fly. Ain't that beautiful? Do we kill him relatively fast or not? Doesn't seem like it. Did I... Yeah, I fucked it up. Alright. This... Suffer the wrath of Eatsley. I don't even have Mona's burst right now. What the hell's happened with my energy? Well, anyways, this guy is soon gonna die. Open fire. We iframe this. We iframe this. Oh, boom. There. Dead. Very nice. If you're wondering why I'm using Mona instead of Farina, it's because I got Farina C6. And, I don't know, I just want to know that I'm able to clear without using a C6 character, you know what I mean? I know that in this half I'm using C3 Dehya, and you probably look down on me. Here's the catch 2020 in which I put you in. You either admit that Dehya is good, or you either admitted that I'm good for clearing Dehya. It's one of the two things. This is gonna take very long, isn't it? I don't even have energy on her. There. I play her on 0 ER. That's why I struggle so much. But it's because I feel like if you're building... Okay, here's the thing. Okay. This is like another controversial opinion that I have about Dehya, right? A lot, and I mean a lot of people have been pushing Emblem of Severed Fate on Dehya and whatnot, and building her with the ER, which I get, because, you know, in order to play this darn game, you need to have ER, right? And I think it's usually the case that you want ER, so you're able to burst consistently, and so your carry doesn't leave you, you know, like, without a carry, right? But the thing is that if the character is weak, like in the case of Dehya, then is it even worth trading a lot of stats just to burst every rotation? Aren't you just better off bursting whenever at that point, just so it's more effective? You know what I mean? It's like if I'm playing someone, let me think of someone who's like burst reliant in the game. Like, for example, Ahitam really wants his burst, right? So he can get all 3 stacks from his little thing, right? He wants his burst, basically, right? Like, I don't think anyone is gonna argue that he doesn't. Like, I think he does, right? And he builds a lot of ER as a consequence. But it's fine on him, because his damage is fine, even while building all that ER that he builds, right? Now, where I'm coming from with what I'm saying is that if the damage is shit anyways, then why bother building ER? Like, you're just making the character even worse for yourself. And I think that's where most people come in, saying that her damage is like abysmally low. Which it is, very low. But, like, it doesn't have to be. Does that make sense? Just don't build ER. Just let her be mid without ER, so she's slightly less mid when you can use her, but you won't be able to use her as often. That's it. You're trading how reliable she is with how good she is. Does that make sense? At the end of the day, you can just, like, you know, spam skills and whatnot with that team that I just showed earlier. There's 3 Pyro characters as well. Like, sometimes you manage to get enough ER. You know what I mean? Am I really not able to clear here? Oh my fucking god. Yeah, I feel like this first half I cleared it very slow, right? Okay, I do have energy on everyone. This one is rushing on me. That's really nice, because I want them to be close to each other's. Can I... Right there. Let's see if I can get every punch inside the Bennett's field or not. I don't know if I did. Because it lingers for a little more than it looks, but... I'm not sure if it actually happened there or not. Gotta make sure to swirl Pyro before I use Changling's ultimate. Very nice. Pick up the particles with the Dehya. And these guys don't have iridescent banner on them, so... Our damage is cooked. Alright, now they do. Everything is on cooldown, makes sense. I hate that I can't group these guys. And their fat hitbox makes it so difficult for them to, like, be in the same place, if that makes sense. Like, it almost feels like I have to kill them individually. Unless one of them, like, runs at me the way the other ones did. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, this is a much better time. And it's all because in the first half, one of them just ran at me. Alright, that's really nice. I should be able to clear now. My Cheska build is actually terrible, and I don't know what to do about it, because I keep farming, but... I don't know, shit doesn't go my way. I don't know what to do. Quite honestly. I know that I didn't Mabuika burst, but... I didn't have it when I was on her, and I felt lazy. I didn't want to switch to her after. It's like I became petty. It's like, okay, you're not gonna burst then, bitch. Froze him. Nice. We actually activated everything now. Let's see. Is this good damage or not? I feel like Chaska's pretty mid. I feel like the build I gave her is also pretty mid, but I think the character just is pretty mid. But when I tell a certain friend of mine, like, he disagrees. So I'm just wondering, how do you guys feel about Chaska? Do you guys feel like she's mid or not? They don't have burst on Silali nor Mona. That was pretty tragic. Sorry for the dog. Okay, I'm about to dispose of the dog. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, alright? See you, gamers.